In this video, I want to share the heroine's healing journey. Now, it could also be the hero's healing journey, but mainly I tend to work with women, so I've called it the heroine's healing journey. Now, often what can happen when we're ill and we want to get better is that we just want it to happen straight away. We want it to happen magically overnight, wave a magic wand, and all our problems have disappeared. And that would be wonderful on the one hand. But on the other hand, there's always a lesson in the illness or the symptoms. And it's up to us to discover what those lessons are and learn from them so that we don't have to repeat them. Because life just keeps bringing us lessons until we get it. And it just keeps knocking us on the head again and again until we get the message. So really what I've discovered is that when people come to me, they may come in the door because they have a problem. Maybe they've got a diagnosis of a chronic illness. Maybe their symptoms have been going on for months or years. Maybe they're really unhappy and they don't know why. Maybe they don't know their life purpose and they can't work out why it is that they don't know what it is that they want to do. Maybe they have relationship problems. Whatever the problem is, that's what we call the end result, which I talk about in some of my other videos. But really what we have to do to clear this end result is to clear away what is causing the problem. So just like when we have the sun in the sky and then we have clouds in front of the sun so that we can't see the sun, if we clear the clouds away, then the sun is there and we get to that bright blue sky. And that's what we're wanting to do. We really want to be happy and we want to be healthy and we want to be fulfilling our purpose and we want to have great relationships. We want to have abundance, and this is all what we want. And unfortunately, if we have a backlog of stored emotions or old baggage inside of us, that prevents us, just like the clouds, seeing the sun. So when I work with you, what's really going to happen is we're going to be going on a journey. And it is a healing journey, not just on a physical level, but on all levels. It's going to be addressing the totality of your being. So that means your mind, your emotions, your physical body, your spirit. And they're all completely interconnected. And so we start off in the known. And then as we begin to journey together, you start to discover what is in the unknown. And this is what has to happen. We have to discover what we previously didn't know about ourselves and bring that into the light. And once we do that and we have greater understanding and greater awareness and we build our self-awareness, that is where all the change happens. And that is where all the transformation happens. But it's very difficult to do that by oneself because we all have what we call our own dark side of the moon. And the phrase the dark side of the moon means that whichever angle you look at the moon from, there's always going to be a part you can't see. And that's the same with our consciousness and our psyche. It's really, really hard and actually even impossible to see all our own stuff. And that goes for me too as a therapist. Even though I'm much more aware of myself than I used to be, there is still stuff that I don't know about myself. And so it's a constant journey of discovery. So this is the importance and the necessity of having a guide. So if you imagine that you wanted to climb Mount Everest and you'd never climbed that mountain before, how would you know how to do that? How would you know what route to take, what equipment to take, what time of year to go, how to even get there to the base camp? Now, when you go with a guide up Mount Everest, they know all of that. And I know this, I've been trekking in Nepal. I didn't go to Mount Everest, but I've trekked in Nepal. And there is just no way I could have gone on that trek without having a guide. And the guide was amazing. Every day he would tell us what time to get up. They would give us our food. They would guide us through the villages and through the landscape, and we had no idea where we were going. We would have been completely and utterly lost without our guide. So that is the incredible value of having a guide who has been there before, been there, done that. So when we start to journey together, I know exactly what route to take for you. And the route is going to be different for every single client because we're all complete, unique individuals. But I have been there and I've done that and I've been up that mountain and I know how to get up it and I know how to come down it. So as you start journeying into the unknown, and that doesn't have to be scary, by the way, then you're going to start learning things about yourself that you never realized before. And in fact, this journey into the unknown really starts in the first session, which is the Kiwi Health Detective Breakthrough session. You're going to learn a lot of things in that session that you didn't realize before, in particular about what has caused symptoms and why symptoms are still there and why you haven't, up until now, understood what is causing the symptoms. So as we journey together, you're going to be discovering things about yourself and maybe your family and your origin and your past that you never knew before. And it's like pieces of the puzzle are going to start coming into the place just by themselves. So it's like when we start off, you've only got a few pieces of a puzzle, so you can't actually see the picture. But as we work together, more and more pieces of the puzzle will come together so that by the end of our journey together, that picture will be very clear. Now, on this journey into the underworld, as they used to say in the classics, we're going to meet challenges. So we may have resistance, for example, or we may not know how to do a particular exercise. But I'm here the whole way to help you move through those challenges with ease. Because for me, what I'm teaching you is actually really simple. It didn't used to be simple. It took me a long time to work all these strategies out and to be able to use them and implement them. But now, just like anything one practices, it becomes simple, and it will become simple for you too. But the point here is that I'm here to guide you and to hold your hand as you go through this journey. And the journey is what I have described in the 9 pillars of health mastery. It's all about changing stress patterns, learning how to deal with emotions, uncovering unconscious beliefs, and making changes to our life and living in a much healthier way. So that is what this journey is about. And as we go through, or as you go through this journey, you're going to transform literally from the inside out. And that is why when we come halfway through this, or just past halfway through this journey, we start to experience a transformation. And really, when we heal, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a transformation, which means one thing has turned into something else. And that is also the definition of alchemy. And that is what the ancients referred to when they talked about turning lead into gold. They weren't literally talking about turning lead into gold. They were talking alchemically, that something changes inside. And this is what's going to happen. So for example, the low self-esteem and the low self-worth and not feeling like you deserve and feeling underconfident and having symptoms, all of this is what is going to transform. And you're going to feel more and more empowered. You're going to feel happier. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more belief in yourself. This is what is going to transform inside you. And also you're going to be noticing a difference in how you run your life. You will be less stressed. You will have more control over what happens in your daily life. You will be communicating with people in your life differently. And for example, if up until now you've been allowing people to walk all over you or treat you badly, that will change. You will know how to stand in your power and be strong and say no and create clear boundaries. You will also be making changes in how you look after yourself and how you care for yourself and how you love yourself. So these are some of the types of changes that you can expect and will get when we work together, because that is really the crux of the work that we're going to be doing together. And as a result of making these changes and experiencing this inner transformation, your inner world will change from the point of view you will feel differently, your symptoms will reduce, you will feel healthy, you will feel more confident, but also your outer world will change because our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So when we make these changes inside, literally, our outer world starts changing. So for example, we have new job opportunities come our way, we meet new friends, we meet a new partner, we start attracting abundance. All of this changes when we start making these changes inside. And then you come out of the unknown, back into the known, and you come out a different person. And then, yes, that cycle will probably go round again, but it will be different. And the more tools and techniques we get under our belt and the more self-aware we become, the easier it becomes to go through this cycle the next time. But once we've really come out through this cycle of chronic illness and really come out the other side and have healed things at a fundamental level, in theory, as long as we don't go back to our old ways, we don't have to repeat that particular cycle. So I hope this has been a useful introduction to this heroine's healing journey. You can take the time to read what is on the slide here, and I look forward to sharing more in another video.